literary world took notice. Then came Half a Yellow Sun in 2006, a sweeping portrait of the Biafran War, love and shattering way of conflict. The novel earned the Orange Prize for fiction and cemented her place among the greats. Americana in 2013 followed a love story layered with themes of migration, race, and belonging. The New York Times named it one of the 10 best books of the year. Readers across the continent saw their truth in her pages. Chimamanda's influence moved far beyond the printed word. In 2009, she stood on a global stage and delivered The Danger of a Single Story. It wasn't just a talk, it was a cultural reset, a masterclass in reclaiming perspective. 3 years later, We Should All Be Feminists became a manifesto and a movement. Our words echoed through classrooms, boardrooms, and pop culture, even sampled by Beyoncé in Flawless.
All of my work is, writing is very much, it's always about vanity. It's really about you, isn't it? And for me, it's sort of trying to make sense of, America has been such a part of me because I left Nigeria when I was 19. I was educated in the US. There's certain things that
make sure your voice is heard.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello, Nigeria. It's another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People television. I will bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I'm your host, Nenna Ndumdioto. Today on the issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance. From courts declaring factional PDP National Convention invalid, to Wike threatening to disrupt River Stadium if denied access. Also, resident doctors extend strike suspension, give federal government 4-week deadline. And finally, police deny firing gunshot during Makoko demolition protest. Join us as we break down the facts and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The Federal High Court in Ibadan has nullified the People's Democratic Party's National Convention held on November 15, 2025 in Ibadan, Oyo State. The court also barred Kabiru Turaki and others from presenting themselves as national officers of the party, dealing a significant blow to the faction that emerged from the convention. Recall that despite internal disputes within the party, the PDP went ahead to hold its 2025 elective national convention in Ibadan. The court's decision follows ongoing leadership disputes within the PDP, which have led to competing factions and legal battles over the party's national leadership and internal processes. However, in a swift reaction, the party's national publicity secretary, Ini Ememobong, said the PDP is awaiting the final pronouncement of the appellate court, which it believes will uphold its position. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by a guest here in the studio. We have Mr. Elvis Elimihele. He is a senior journalist and a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you join us, sir.
Good evening, Nena. Hi, sir.
Fine, thank you. And how was yours?
Good. Thank God it's Friday.
For you. Me, I don't have anywhere to go to.
Yes, that's what media job is all about.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so let's start. I'm sure I don't know if you were surprised or how were you surprised when you saw this court ruling nullifying this faction that maybe some persons might think might eventually become the real faction, if I could use that word, of PDP?
Well, if I say I was surprised, it would be like I'm not following the trend of things, but I was actually expecting the judgment to go the other way, not,
To go which way?
To allow this crisis to be over, especially when the court made pronouncement last week that Iron's tenure has ended. And that at least we now know that really their tenure ended in December. So I was expecting that the court will now, okay, let Turaki-led fashion of the PDP now continue, and let's see how they can begin to mend fences. But unfortunately, it's like one step forward, 2 steps backwards again. And like we're going back they are going back to the trenches now, starting from where they stopped all over. But one good thing about it is that this is just the first court. It could still go further. Maybe appeal court may avoid this, and it may go the other way. But this should not discourage members of the PDP, you understand? Especially these Turaki-led members, this new executive that came up in Ibadan, they should not be discouraged. You see, life is all about that. You have to fight your ways. There's nothing good that you are seeking to get that you always come easy. It is becoming so obvious now that there are some people that don't want PDP to function. And as a result, PDP must not relent. They must be able to know that they have to fight these common issues they have. Going to court, back and forth, and, move forward, backward again, it's not helping PDP. So this Ibadan convention that brought this new leadership must close rank with other persons, members, and make sure that they find a way to move PDP forward. All the governors are almost gone. As we speak, they have only about 3 governors, Oyo, Adamawa, and Zamfara. Out of all the about 12 or so.
You've forgotten about Bauchi.
Oyo, okay, Bauchi.
Yeah.
Okay, they have only about 4 left. So, which is not good for them. So they should not just fold their arms and allow the party to go. Because if you still talk of a national party today in Nigeria, Nena, it's still PDP. It's only that PDP that you see that it's not one man that is actually dictating the shot. That's even why you see so many other persons, have interest in that this party must die. But it now left for the real members who actually want to guide this party jealously to take the bull by the horn. APC, as we have come to discover, is not a political party. It's just a party of, strange bedfellows. They came together and they had the opportunity of grabbing power. And because the PDP actually allowed them to grab power. If PDP had put their home in order, that matter would have happened in that 2014, 2015. Now, we've seen, if we have not had the experience of APC within these 10 years now, they've been in power, who would have been talking about, PDP have not done well, APC would have done better. But now we have an opportunity of, trying both PDP. Yeah. Now, Nigerians are even saying that if only we can have the other PDP back, which is not possible any longer. So, be that as it may, I expect PDP to actually find a way to put their house in order. And let them go to appeal this. This is just the first court. Let them appeal it. Then if it favors them, but the only issue is that they should not really be too eager about 2027 election. Let them put their home in order and work favorably towards the next election. Because before these court cases are dispensed of, Nena, that PDP may not have so much stronghold in 2027 general election. So if they are, running after 2027 and running after the court cases and, uniting the PDP, they might miss it. Now, let them close rank, unite PDP. If they're able to settle all this matter off before 2020, 2031, or even some of the staggered elections that will come up before then, PDP might come back again gradually. It's not going to be an automatic thing because Nigerians are not happy with the present situation we are going through in the hands of APC. So we need just that that will take us out of this. ADC, we see that ADC is also coming up, but we are watching what is going to happen in ADC. That is during the time of the primaries. If ADC is able to survive primaries, they might step into that shoe of PDP for now. But PDP should not lie low. They should still be able to see how they can move forward, because ADC must also guide jealously what led to the dissolution of PDP where they are today, so that they will not step into that same shoes that led to where PDP is now and use it to, destroy whatever they have been building. That's my fear for ADC, because as you see, everybody there is like, oh, I want to be there, I want to be there. If they are not able to manage that and get into the primaries like a united party, and everybody is okay, whoever comes up on the primary, we are going to support him, ADC might also go down like PDP is now. And that that will now give automatic ticket to APC as it were. So we just want ADC to put their house in order. Then PDP should close rank, work towards, even if they are not getting anything in 2027 election, let them work towards bringing PDP back. Let those members that are still there and have faith in them. I still saw Makinde talking about that PDP remain his party. Then Bala Mohammed have not actually said anything about the party that is still fervent with it. They may not be automatically be having more states now. If at local government level, let them start all over after this crisis will have gone. But this crisis, the hand that is on this crisis is somewhere. Because we saw that judgment that came last week that, Anyanwu is gone. Everybody was happy that, okay, PDP is actually now getting somewhere. But this one that came today has drawn them back again.
But does it not look like it's conflicting when you have one court talk about taking off or the tenure of Anyanwu is over? Then now we get to see this particular court now say this convention, and then those leaders who were elected during the convention have been barred. Does it not look like a contradiction sort of? And aside from that, you said, so that's one question on one hand. Then on the other hand, you talked about them not being discouraged. How easy will it be for these people not to be discouraged? But even the publicity secretary, during his statement, or when he made a statement, he actually said that, yes, that the members should be resolute and all of that. That's what you're saying. And that's like, those things like that would shake anyone. I don't even know where PDP wants to start from, really. I don't know where they want to start from. You're saying they should put their acts together and put their hands together and try to ensure that even if nothing happens in 2027, they should look beyond that. It's but if they don't kind of bring out a candidate for 2027, don't you think they'll just go into oblivion?
No, they may bring out candidates, but my fear is that before these court cases are over, we'll be too close to the election. They may not have that formidable impact, campaign, selling themselves again to the people and all that. It takes a lot of time for people to now. They have members quite well. There's no disputation about that. But it's not just the member. Winning election now matters. You understand? But the judgment we saw last week, it depends on the cases that are filed. Even last week, that judgment that came was, normally we actually knew that Anyanwu and his leadership were going to end their tenure in December. So I think that was the one that now favored the PDP, that, okay, these people, you don't have any relationship with PDP any longer because your tenure has ended. So that was a different case that was filed. Mm-hmm. Even when that judgment came last week, everybody was still waiting to hear this judgment from Ibadan Convention. And this Ibadan Convention, we were like, oh, if that comes and it favors the PDP will glue. But unfortunately, when this one came now, they're back to their knees again. But like every political analyst will say, we also look at it. PDP is still a party. Though they are passing through their rough times, but they should not give up. And also, they should not be too focused on 2027 general election, because they may not have so much impact when it comes to 2027 general election. Because before all these court cases are over, primaries would have been so close or even gone. And what does that mean? It means a party that gave us leadership for 16 years will just go down the drain in that manner. Wow. Okay, like you mentioned, a party that it's sad. I'm sure that many Nigerians might also share this view, that a party, like you said, that gave leadership for 16 years, it's gradually going down the drain this way. And PDP used to be a very strong party. But what would you say that has gotten them to degenerate
so low to this
level.
point?
It's so obvious. Insincerity. When elders are beginning to be deceiving themselves and deceiving their members, that deception will only last. It's just like a bubble. It will burst. When you now jettison the party's constitution because you want to favor some persons, then that means you are packing up. You understand? Let it not be that whenever an issue arises, because there are some fat pocket boozers, financially rich persons, you are now using them to judge those that cannot. Look at what has been happening in PDP. PDP were not sincere to themselves. In the first instance, right from 2011, Jonathan won 2011 election and became president for 4 years, 2011 to 2015. That 2015 general election, unfortunately, President Jonathan was deceived into contesting for that 2015 general election. If Jonathan has not contested, because PDP were having this belief that incumbent will never lose election. But they didn't know that it has gone beyond that level. Nobody knew what happened, but we know too well that Jonathan became alone. Even Jonathan's cabinet had deserted him even before the election, which he didn't know, and which PDP themselves too, were trying to manage. Unfortunately, that lack of truth was one part of the trend that sold PDP up. Then look at the one that now brought Wike up and others in 2022, 2023 that led to this dragging PDP to the Golgotha now where it is. It was just because the leadership of PDP could not stand their ground and say, no, we are also zoning our ticket to the south, because we have always had this arrangement of let the north go, let the south go. Look at the popularity. Look at where the pendulum swings. Look at what feed the pulse of the people outside. They now, because there's one person that is rich and they believe that he will be able to manipulate everybody with his riches along. They said, okay, that was jettisoned. That was all led to the G5. The G5 is part of those things that matter that actually nailed PDP to where we are now. People like Wike and others now started jumping out and working against their party. So when leaders who are supposed to be the head of the parties are not speaking the truth to issues, look at what has been happening in Lagos State. PDP has never had a grip in Lagos since 1999 to today. But PDP are leaders in Lagos. Are they sincere to themselves? Are they sincere to the Constitution? Are they sincere to what they preach to people? So when you now see, look at Jandor, their governorship candidates in 2023 election. He has gone to APC, and today he's one of those that are even assisting APC to put up advert and jingles now for them. That's to tell you that. So some people are aggrieved. Normally, when we were growing up, when we used to hear of political parties, especially I can speak for the era of Second Republic, when we used to have MPN and UPN as major political parties then. I can see my dad even talking about, fervently about UPN. That even if there's no way, because they don't believe in the ideology of the party. Today, political party in Nigeria don't have anything like ideology. Every time I say, okay, if it's not favoring me, I'm packing my bag and I'm leaving. Those are what we are talking about, Nena. There's no sincerity. There's no we are doing it for Nigerians. They want to do it for themselves. Doing it for yourselves, and the same interest you have is the same interest I have, the same interest everybody has, will be stepping on toes. And stepping on toes will now be jettisoning the rules and regulations that set other political party or the constitution. You now push it aside because you want to favor some other persons. When you are favoring persons within the leadership of the party against the people, that party is bound to die, because the people owns the election. It's not the leadership of the party. It's the people, because at the end of the day, if you are not unable to settle your home very well, you cannot be campaigning and be telling the people, they say, look at what we are even doing. That means you are telling Nigeria, you are telling the people lies. They will not believe in you. So that was just what happened to PDP. The leadership of PDP were not sincere to themselves. That's what led to where they are today.
But we have some people who are elder statesmen, who are still, or the elder statesmen rather, who are still part of this party. Is it that they don't have the willpower, or they don't have, they don't have the respect or the honor to be able to, try to ensure that this party, these differences are settled? Because we have people like Obasanjo, PDP, he's still an elder statesman. Of course, there are people like Bode George. Some persons will say Bode George, some persons will say some things about Bode George, about him not, But these are people who are elderly. Even the former president, Jonathan, Can't they rally round and ensure that this party doesn't just go into extinction?
That matter becomes matter of interest, Nena. These persons you made mention of, they all have their interests. Like Obasanjo, after his 2 tenure as president under PDP, he came out publicly and tore his card.
Yes, true.
What do you expect of that? Today we hear of presidents of America, they tell you he was a Republican president, he died as a Republican president. He was a Democrat president, he died as a Democrat president. When leaders see that political party just as a vehicle to just get into power, and after that, whatever happened is not part of them, which means their own interest was not actually there. You see, party is all about what you believe in. This is what we are selling to the people, and this is what we believe in. Not you now come in and say, okay, I want to use my money to buy what you and I believe. So because I want to use it as a vehicle to get to the top.
Where you're going to.
At the end of the day, you are going to still roll it off, because once you get what you are looking for, you are going to go. Obasanjo tore his card publicly. Jonathan, after he lost the election, we say he was not too interested in
politics.
PDP matter any longer. You understand? Then where is the party? You made mention of big Uncle Bode George in Lagos here. In Lagos here, in 2023 general election, Bode George was not in support of Jandor, even though Jandor was a PDP candidate. He was supporting another party. That's matter of interest. So when these interests are clashing, they now push out the ideology of the party off. Nena, what is happening to PDP will be happening, and it will also happen to other political parties. That's what I'm already telling you now, that they should not allow such now. ADC should not allow such for individual interest to have a predominant role in whatever they are talking about now, this coalition. If it happens in that manner, the same thing that happened to PDP will also happen to ADC. So when all these leaders, deceiving themselves, they come to tell you, speak at the television, but when they go back, they know that they have a camp that they are projecting, and that camp they are projecting is not for the interest of the party. It is something that will always lead to things of this nature. So they didn't believe in the ideology, but they only come to confess it in the public because of what they are looking for. PDP thrived so well, but unfortunately, look at where they are today. It shows that any party can also go down, in Nigeria especially.
Wow. Okay, this ruling, or this recent ruling, is it a triumph for Wike over his friend or his former ally, Makinde? Because it looks like, aside from, it looks like it's a fight between these two, like looking like it, even if, yes, it looks like they are the two people leading the two factions, sort of. So is this like a win or a triumph that Wike has now over his former ally?
I wouldn't see it like a triumph, Nena, because Wike is not even a member of PDP any longer. So,
well, I'm sure that he doesn't say. I'm sure that in his head he still feels that he's a member of PDP.
It's not, because the court cases are still coming up, and more. An appeal is still going to come up. So until that appeal is dispensed of, probably this matter will still get to Supreme Court.
But can I ask you this question? You said he's no longer a member of PDP, but the people who expelled him from PDP and the party, it's still the same people that this faction has been bad.
Yes.
So of course, that means the expulsion is nullified as well.
That's why I was talking about the court cases that are still going to come up. So for now, until all the court cases are dispensed of, before he can begin to ring his bell and say, oh, he has succeeded. But even before then, so much would have gone past, so much water would have gone past the bridge that we will not even be talking of PDP, whether PDP is alive or dead that time, because Nigeria would have moved so much forward. So let him now. The court has said, okay, the Ibadan Convention has been quashed. Then let him now revive his own faction and let them take over the secretariat and see what they are going to make out of it within this period. Do you think what they're going to make out of it? Are they going to come up with candidates for the 2027 general election? Let's see what is going to happen. If eventually they raise the secretariat, they are celebrating. I know politicians are very good at celebrating. They are going to celebrate this one very soon now. By tomorrow, you will be hearing that from his own faction, they will be commending this judgment. Good. There's no problem about that. If they can revive the secretariat and come up with their candidate, let's see. But if the case goes the other way again, you know what it means. So whoever is aligning with any of these two now should be very careful. That's even why you see this jumping ship become so rampant now with all their governors. Because especially those that are doing the first tenure, they also want to continue second tenure. And they want a formidable party that can sign their form. A situation where PDP, a faction will sign in PDP and the other faction will go to court, and at the end of the day, the election is nullified, which means he has lost that chance. So that's just the issue is now. So whether Wike and his faction is happy about this, you are going to celebrate this judgment now, it's of no case, because tomorrow another judgment may come up, and it may also erode all their celebration today. So the issue is, let Turaki faction be resolute. They should come together and fight this to the final conclusion. This matter must end with time. It may only after 2027 general election, all this matter will no longer be fashionable. What is happening now is to make sure that some of these political parties don't come up to challenge the ruling party. That's what we are seeing now. And this one will continue. Unfortunately, they've played into their hands to get to this level. The ruling party, like they keep telling you, that they have a hand in this, just like the hand of Jacob and the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. It's what we are seeing in this matter. So the ruling party cannot shift themselves away from what is going on, because we saw a judgment last week that like favor PDP is coming alive again. Another judgment has come again that's taking them back to where they were. So if at the end of that's what I keep talking about ADC. ADC is the only opposition that Nigerians are looking onto, because even if this judgment comes in March, May now, PDP can no longer do much. So ADC should guide their home so that this balkanization that came into PDP should not spill into them.
Well, you're not talking about ADC. Some of these members in ADC also spewed out from the same PDP.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's any difference, because it just looks like, can a chameleon change his skin or can a leopard change his skin when he's old? Because this same ideology that they had when they were in PDP and they've now moved to ADC, don't you think the same thing will play out at some point?
That's my fear. This personal interests. If they allow that selfishness to override the ideology of the party, they will have the same problem. But one would have expected that they should borrow a leaf from what has happened to PDP and say, no, we should tread consciously so that we will not fall into this, especially if they say they are coming to rescue Nigerians. If you are coming to rescue Nigeria from this present ruling party, you have to sacrifice. It may not be to your favor all the time, Nina, but put your name, in the mind of engross your name in the heart of Nigerians with gold. Nigerians will say, yes, it was not favorable to him, but because he just wanted to deliver Nigerians at a certain time that we're at a stalemate now, that was why they have to do that. He has to come up with that sacrifice. Can't you sacrifice if you so believe that you love the country and you actually believe that the present ruling party is not the party that should be in power come 2027? Then sacrifice has to come in. But unfortunately, politicians hardly sacrifice. But in this case, I want to believe that ADC will now trend the line of sacrifice, and some of those that are too interested in, I want to get the power at all time, I don't want to start mentioning, they will know them. So that they can also actually play down on that and come up with candidates that Nigeria can rally around and say, okay, let's believe in this. And they should also work with that candidate. Look at what is happening to NNPP. Is it not gone? NNPP is gone. What is happening? In 2022, 2023, we were seeing NNPP coming, they were going to merge with Labour Party to form an alliance. But what happened? Too much interest. No, I will never be vice. I will never be this. You understand? That killed it. The only Kano that they head onto, the Kano now has slipped off their hands. If NNPP had come in alliance with Labour Party in 2023 general election, Labour Party would have done better. You understand? With only Labour Party, only Obi came in and he got 6 million votes. Then all the Kwankwasia and whatever all over Nigeria and whatever would have increased that vote. Probably they would have been better. But this personal interest is the issue with Nigeria politicians. Nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to shift goalposts for another. Say, oh, let this one go. We can assist you. But when it comes to our time, that was the only thing Tinubu did that brought him to become president today. In 2014, he came with ACN and they formed an alliance with other political parties to form APC. He didn't say, I'm popular enough. I said, he allowed Buhari to contest. And he didn't even go for the vice president and say, okay, let me even be vice of Buhari. He didn't do that. He still allowed Osibajo go ahead. They had 2 tenors. Then before he now said, it is my turn. So Whoever was actually wanting to work against him in APC then, I would have said, this man has sacrificed enough to some extent. So that's what I'm trying to see that ADC should be able to do now, some of their leaders, so that they can also, you can be, look at the 8 years of Tinubu, Buhari as president of this nation. What was Tinubu's toga in Nigeria? National leader of APC. Is this constitutional? It's not constitutional. It was just like a name that was just given to him, just to put him somewhere. Just to honor him for what he did. National leader. Can't somebody else also play that kind of role now and say, you just go. Let us all rally and back you so that we can now have a very balanced contest between the ruling party and this new one that has just been formed.
Well, I know you said you don't want to mention name, but I don't know why you don't want to mention name.
Because I've mentioned this name so severally.
But I'm sure you're possibly talking about. I don't know if it's Atiku.
Yes.
But you're not talking about him. Age is not on his side. So let's look at it this way. He might not. Maybe he's feeling like, okay, if he allows this to go, by the time he, let's just try to just play the devil's advocate. By the time he allows someone like Obi, for example, to take over, to become the presidential candidate, and then Obi eventually wins. And even if Obi decides to do one term, we don't even know if nature would allow, still keep him, if he will still be alive till then, because age is no longer on his side. So that might be another reason why he's feeling like, no, I have to really do this. Don't you think so?
But you know that there are some kingmakers that are more popular than the king?
Definitely.
That's just it. That's the area I'm coming from.
I know.
There are some people say, no, he was not there, but he did.
But he did
today,
right.
Awolowo was not a president of this nation. But if you any Nigerian you meet today, whether I said you don't want to speak the truth to issues, everybody reverend him and say he did his best. He was never a president. Do you understand what I'm saying? So look at people of that nature now. Why don't you also... If you are writing
toe that line.
Toe that line. If you are writing the history of Nigeria today, everybody from the southern part of Nigeria, especially the southwest and the former Midwest, Edo Delta, before the Midwest was created, they will tell you about Awolowo. My dad was one of those people that was celebrating Awolowo in my presence before I grew up. Because look at, leaders have vision for people. My dad said when he came to campaign in my town, it asked them, what will I do for you if I win? What was he campaigning for? Premier of Western region. Not president of Nigeria. Then Midwest was not created yet. Edo Delta was still part of Western region. I said, what do I do for you if I get here? They said, we don't have portable drinking water. I said, really? He said, yes, because it causes yaw. This sickness they used to say is yaw. It comes up like a boil, and when the blister bursts, another one will come. So all over their body, they stink because they were drinking pond water. Water from the pond. You know how dirty it was because there's no water. And I said, okay, that same water you guys are drinking, put it in a clean bottle and give it to me. When I get there, I'll solve it. That's how they put pond water in a bottle and gave it to him. Boom, and brought it down to Lagos. When he won, he gave my people potable water. I saw that tap till 1979, 80, 82, 83, 84, tap was still flowing in Epoma. That same tap today, now that if you get to my town now, for me to give you water, it's easier for me to give you a bottle of soft drink than to give you water, especially in dry season. Tap was flowing. If somebody can do it then, 1950-something. The subsequent government did not come and say, okay, this dam he did, that was giving the whole of Eastern Division that have about 5 local governments now, water. Let me expand it, so that this project can continuously remain. It was being powered with generator. Then one would have thought, okay, let us connect electricity to it, or let's even use solar. Let's expand it. Subsequent government, where we speak, are coming to dig borehole. Every home in Lagos has borehole. How do you serve a town with a borehole? So today, the whole of Eastern have no water. But Awolowo did that. So what am I trying to say? When you leave your name, in gold for some people, your name will continue. It doesn't mean you must be there. There are some presidents today, now that you mentioned their name today in this nation, somebody will tell you, it would have been better he was never president. Somebody like Buhari. Buhari was a failure in Nigeria. It was a monumental failure. Buhari came into power in 2014, 2015. Nigeria was the biggest economy in Africa. Nigeria. But before he left, Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world. The economy inherited from Jonathan and a PDP government, he crumbled it. Before Buhari left, Nigerians voted for him in 2015 because he said, oh, he's a retired general, he was going to fight the terrorists and stop this insurgency. But before he left, he increased it. Banditry was not in Nigeria before. It was only Boko Haram who were fighting before he came into power. Sure. But before he left, banditry came in. The whole of Southwest, I mean Northwest that were not having issues, now started having issues. There was no problem in Northwest before. It was only Northeast that would have Boko Haram. But before he left, we now saw banditry came to Northwest, and which has now, and again, he empowered some other persons in this nation that now began to spill into North Central, now, just trying to eliminate villages and plant themselves in the village, and the villagers are now in IDP camp. So where will you ever think of somebody of that nature now that Nigerians are going to be happy when his name is mentioned? The only people that are going to be happy with him is just those people that benefited from him. Honestly, he brought monumental hardship to Nigerians because if you look at most of his statistics, there is nothing really favorable. Poverty capital of the world, as rich as we are. Today, Nigerians cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. The terrorism has gone so bad that another country is even the one that is not helping us. So he get all the toga and all the image he brought into government. None of them actually fly. But we are just talking of somebody who did not have opportunity to become president of this nation. But he affected people's life. Talking of Chief Awolowo. The whole of Southwest. How do you think today? If you get to no matter how big the office is, if the Yoruba man is not the MD, before you get to the chief accountant, financial director, you see that it's a Yoruba man because he gave scholarship. This scholarship was not from oil. This oil that everybody is packing billions today. It was not from oil. As at this time, oil was not in vogue. It was just because the resources they were getting from the Southwest here, the cocoa, was what he was using. The first skyscrapers in Africa was not built with oil money. Cocoa House Ibadan. He did it. The first television station in West Africa came in. TV. He brought it. Some people said that even this television, even as at that time, France has not gotten the television station. He brought it. The Obafemi Awolowo University of today, he brought it. So when you look at the footprint of somebody of this nature now, we don't not rate that one higher than some people who came and said they were president in this nation and plunged Nigeria into poverty and plunged Nigeria into much suffering. Nigerians in IDP camp are more than the Nigerians are living in their homes. Even those of us are not that are in IDP camp. We are in IDP camp in a way because you can't even travel freely. You can't go to work freely. You can't go to your farm freely. We are also in IDP camp in a way. So look at what we are talking about, Nena. It is not just that you must be there. It is what you must be there for a reason and be able to affect people's life.
Wow, thank you for speaking so extensively. But let's move on to the next conversation that we have tonight. Political tensions in River State have fled again as former Governor Nyesom Wike has warned of potential disruption at the state stadium if he is again denied access. Wike stated that any attempt to again deny him access to the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt will be met with strong resistance. He disclosed that his group had formally applied to the state government for the use of the stadium for the inauguration of senatorial and local government coordinators of the Renewed Hope ambassadors, but was denied access. Describing the action as unprecedented, Wike said if denied access next time, they would break the stadium and nothing would happen. Let's hear the video. I actually had to go look for this video because I wanted us to hear him. Sure, let's play the video first before I say what I want to say.
We applied to the state government for the General Gowon Yakubu Stadium. They refused us. But let me say, next time we will do this. If you don't approve it, we will break it by force.
Mr. Limihele, you can, I don't know what you make of this. This is a minister. This is a lawyer making this kind of threat on public television, on national television. I don't know. What do you make of it? Let me not put words into your mouth.
No, I mean, Nigerians are not going to be surprised when we say we can make this kind of threat, because it's what it's known for.
But there are no limits to, breaking a stadium.
I mean,
how can somebody say that kind of thing?
Yes, because the Rivers people have given me that so much latitude for him to now ride them. Do you understand? When Obi wanted to come and campaign in 2023 general election in River State, what did he tell Obi? That River State was not open
available for him
to come and campaign. He told that a presidential candidate. Today he is saying that he will break into a stadium and if he's denied. He has denied people. But let's bring it down home. What we are talking about is he should allow peace to reign in his state. Rivers is his state. If he's talking of renew hope, whatever, is it not just for President Tinubu to come back to power in 2027? Is it not? Then, yes, Phil Bara is also working for President Tinubu for 2027. That's not a problem. Then, if you are working for President Tinubu for 2027, then the Rivers State governor belongs to the Rivers people. Everybody that you are going to clamp into that stadium, not all of them will work with you. Some of them are just coming. Some of them may just come in there because of they've been greased. Their palms have been greased. So Fubara is for APC and is going to work for President Tinubu. Then Rivers people should now work along with Fubara to retain his seat, because from all indication and from all I've read and from all the feelers on ground, Fubara has not disappointed Rivers people. So where is Wike's threat? If you know you are sincere, you are coming to talk about, APC must win River State 2027, it's not an issue, because that's also what Fubara is working towards. But the governorship of that state belongs to APC to say this is going to be the person that is going to fly our ticket. And if they give the ticket to Fubara, then leave Rivers people to now say whether Fubara is going back or not. He should stop this threat, because no matter the threat, he is not coming back as governor of Rivers State any longer. He has finished and he's finished. So even those ones that he is using, his full soldiers, like the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, all those ones that he's using, when the rain starts beating the roof and the roof is off, the rain will get to the inhabitants in that hole. A time is coming, all this will no longer fly, because everybody is already getting to know who Wike is now. Then these ones that their political future is just growing, he would have condemned their political future. That's why I'm looking at it. Is if you don't use sense to kill your enemy, it will boomerang. So all this threat is supposed to be something that the DSS is supposed to have invited him and say, come, don't foment trouble in where there is no trouble. All this time he is making all this noise all about. Did you see Fubara answering him? Because he has to concentrate in giving his people the dividend of democracy. That's what Rivers need. And that's the only agreement he has with Rivers people. Not this time he's coming to say there is an agreement. Or there is a structure. The structure is the Rivers people. Structure belongs to the Rivers people. And the agreement between the serving governor and the Rivers people is dividend of democracy and good living. So he should not come and disturb the peace that is going on inherent in Rivers State at the moment. I expected the DSS at least to have told him this kind of threat, breaking a stadium, I mean, it's not good for a sitting minister. And whose government you are serving. The government is talking about how to make peace reign in this nation. Then you are also talking about how to now bring anarchy and chaos into part of the government you are serving. So Tinubu also have a role to play here. President Tinubu, by now, Nigerians have been telling, speak to your minister, because at the end of your administration, so many people will remember, we can serve under whose government? They say Tinubu's government. So the buck stops on the table of the president. By now, APC, as a party that whose party he is serving, that gave him this ticket, are no longer comfortable with some of the things he's saying. You saw when he had issue with the national secretary of APC. And I know too well that even the progressive governors, as they call themselves, the APC governors, are not too comfortable with most of these things, because one of their own is Fubara. Now, Fubara is a member of that progressive governor forum. Fubara is one of their own. So if they not trade Fubara for Wike, then let's see what will happen by 2027 general election. Nena.
Okay, we're actually going to just enter into one of my questions, and that is, I was going to ask you if you think the president should call him to order. And you've spoken a bit about that. Because,
it's overdue.
Yes, because it looks like, because for a minister to be saying this, actually breaking that statement is it's very heavy. Because if you as a minister can think of wanting to break a stadium, that means you're telling others to do the same.
As he's thinking of it, his foot soldiers will execute it. I thought by now, even the message Boala sent to him last week, it should have been sinking into him and know too well that he's alone in this race. Nobody is interested whether you're coming to do your Renew Hope, whatever. Renew Hope is to give President Tinubu vote in Rivers. Rivers people are not even saying they're not going to vote for Tinubu. But what Rivers people are saying that the governor we elect allow him to serve his 4 years. If he so did well and we want to return him for the next 4 years, that belongs to them, not to you. You can't impose a leader on Rivers. I want to see that person that is going to bring and tell Rivers this is the best person now, that is not going to be a bad child, as like he's calling a sitting governor a bad child when the time comes.
You know, one of the things he said about the governor, you know, you talked about the governor actually supporting APC.
Yes.
And that he doesn't know why this threat is coming up. But that they're both working together towards the same part. But you know, he said something, I want to read him verbatim. He said, you cannot have a governor in the state while we are openly declaring support for President Tinubu and you're not aligning. How then do you expect a reward? And then he now talked about, he said, it's not about giving 600 billion naira. You don't need 600 billion naira. We need commitments. So I don't know. Like, he actually feels that he's the one who is the man in charge.
He's not
and
the
he's
one
the
in
only
charge.
one. No, not the man in charge in River State. The man in charge that has the president.
Yes.
The president's the president. No, not even that. The president's interest at heart. Every other person or the governor even doesn't have the president's interest at heart, and that's what he's making him feel like you can't be rewarded if you don't show commitment.
What kind of commitment? The governor have never spoken against the president coming in 2027. The governor. You know, even have a popular song. If you want to follow Tinubu, not follow Kona Kona. That's a Fubara's song. That is a song.
Okay, Fubara has a song.
Yeah, he has that song. If you want to follow Tinubu, not follow Kona Kona.
Go ahead.
That's the popular song, which means he is following following Tinubu, you know, headlong. He is not following Kona Kona because today
who is following Kona Kona?
Wike is following Kona Kona because he's not even a member of APC. So Fubara has declared for APC. And he has gone into APC and he's following the president headlong, straightforward, not corner. So he should even go and declare and say, I've crossed carpet to APC. You know that
and then he will not come under. Yes. He will not come under the same person who he does not want to.
That's the law. That's the constitution.
The same person who he feels that is not 001.
Yes. So that he will leave this corner movement. That is not that he's always speaking on along with what Fubara is doing. Fubara is supporting Tinubu in 2027. So whatever rally you are coming to hold in River State, all in the name of Tinubu, is null and void because it's the same thing Fubara is also fighting for. But Fubara's position, whether he's coming back in 2027 or not, belongs to the party. If the party sees that he has done so well, and the people say this is the person we need, he will get the ticket. All this is corner movement, like the song, will become null and void.
Let's have your final conclusions before we wrap it up.
No, the president, it is time for the president to actually bring Wike to his. I think Boala has spoken so well last week. And by now, because of that statement from Boala, now that's why he's wanting to come for another rally now. He wants to come and, assert his stance in Rivers. But Rivers are no longer intimidated because they know whom he is. And Fubara has actually been able to put him in where he belongs. He's not talking, but he's focused and let him satisfy his people. He still has 1 year plus, and let his people now, say this is still going to be our governor come 2027. If you do a voice pop in River State, I think 70 to 80 will still tell you Fubara has not fared badly, that they still need him back.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Elimihele, for being a part of the show. That's all we have for today's episode of The Issues. We explore the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and governance. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. Remember that the views and opinions expressed by our analysts are solely their own and do not reflect that of VOP Media. I am Nnenna Ndamdioto, and this has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for hashtag with Vivian by 8 p.m. Don't go away.